subscribe to us.
Jesus.
We are on Spotify and YouTube and Apple Podcasts and everywhere. Subscribe to us. Please. Please subscribe to us.
Hi peeps, it's Knock.
And Ricardo.
And we are
Thinking Cube. We are Thinking Cube, a podcast created by Knock and Ricardo to talk about our journey into becoming better people. We will talk about how to improve yourself, how to improve your relationships with your family, your friends, and others. And just generally talking about how to live a more human life.
This week I want to talk about control and expectations, because I feel like everything that I've done this week have led to this topic, that we should talk about this topic. Because it's like something that 100% of all of us experience this pain.
Yeah, definitely. I've definitely experienced this pain, yeah.
Like we want to, we expect something better of others, we want the best for them, right?
Yeah.
But, like when they don't meet that expectation, or like we lose control of something in our lives, we like immediately feel disappointed.
Yeah, we get disappointed.
Yeah, and hurt, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and angry sometimes.
And angry. Yeah. And bitter even.
Yeah.
We lost control of something outside, and that affect our inner self.
Yeah, and all of these like feelings that we can get, they're all stem from the expectations that we put on others.
Yeah.
And that could be, your parents, that could be your children, that could be your partner, right?
Yeah.
It could be your friends, it could be, the neighbor, it could be anybody.
Yeah.
All right, now, drop some knowledge.
Okay, so, last week I had like a morality class. Yes, I take some cool classes. Pew, pew. Pew pew, and
what did you learn?
Yeah, so we were talking about this topic. We were talking about anger, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how like a lot of the anger we have stems from kind of like losing control. Like losing control of other people, like of the things that is not upon us. Of like external factors, right?
Okay.
Like for example, like the worst part is like when we get angry with like our partners or our like.
Happens all the time.
Yeah, like the people who are closest to us, right? So, like in the class, we were just talking about how, I share my story of me and my father, right? Because, it's like an incident that happened to me that was like convey like a lot of anger between us, You want to hear about it?
Yeah. Tell me about it. So
Okay.
You and your father have a lot of anger towards each other?
Yeah, so...
how come?
Okay, so I'm from Vietnam, like hashtag that Asian culture, like if you're Asian, you know what I'm talking about right now, okay? There's like this crazy expectations for us to like perform well, from our parents, right? Like my mom is actually quite chill. She's like, I think she's like Westernized, so she's like super chill about like...
Hashtag Westernized.
Yeah. My father, right? He's from this province in Vietnam where... it's like famous for performing, like for being like valedictorians.
Really?
Yeah, like in all of the like university in like the big cities, the people who are valedictorians are from this province.
Oh.
Yeah, like it's like pressure, to perform well.
Especially if you're from there.
Especially if you're from there.
So the people that are from there, they put that pressure on their children. Generational pressure right there.
Yeah, exactly. So my father, he's like super smart, right? He's like, he's a professor, okay? He's a PhD, doctor, professor. Like he like performed like surgery. He's in the ICU unit, all of this, right? And basically he do like saving people and teaching at the same time. Damn. So my dad is like super educated, he like super smart in his field, come
Damn.
out like me, right?
Sounds like a little pressure already.
Yeah, it's
I'm
a lot.
the pressure already. And
and you know what, he's actually in the team that created like the COVID vaccine for Vietnam.
COVID vaccine?
Yeah, so he's one of those that created that for
No,
Vietnam.
wait, not the test. The vaccine.
Yeah,
The vaccine.
the vaccine.
The Vietnam vaccine.
Yes,
Damn.
that is out right now. That's
I
like
might have to get that one. I'm here in Vietnam, so I'm probably gonna get that one.
yeah, but you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
like he's like one of the people who
Damn.
created the vaccine. So like he's
Crazy.
like super smart, right?
Mhm.
Like it's like a freaking like high up there, right?
Alright.
And then comes out me, right? I'm like
You.
I don't want to go to
You're
college.
just a bean.
I'm just a bean.
You
I don't want to go to
wanna
college.
chill. You wanna hang out.
I
You wanna
wanna
be
hang out.
happy. You don't wanna stress yourself out.
Yeah, I don't want to create vaccines. I'm just out here just chilling.
Just chilling, not bothering anybody. You don't wanna be a bother.
just let me be a bean. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I just don't feel like that is the way I want to success, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he obviously has like expectation for me to
Right.
like finish university, get a job, like I don't know.
He thinks that's how you should also define your success.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Like I
He's-
should get a job especially with the government, because in Vietnam, if you work for the government,
Does
you're
he
like,
work for the government?
yeah, he's a military doctor.
Military doctor. Okay.
Yeah. So like if you work for the government in Vietnam, you're like, you're sorted. You're like everybody will look at you like, damn, you're
Damn.
God.
Go in the government.
Yeah, I don't know why. Okay, it's like an old mentality, because it's stable. Oh yeah, because it's stable.
Nice. That's good. Stability is good.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get back to it. We're going crazy.
All right. So tell us about these expectations that he has on you.
Okay, so of course he expect me to like I said, go to college, get a job like 5 to 9, that like typical stuff, right?
Work in the government.
Work in the government, but like I didn't want to do that, so I dropped out of college, right? And I went to, because I studied abroad for like 6 years, so I'm also like quite like westernized,
Hashtag westernized.
Yeah. But as in like Vietnamese culture, there are certain things that you shouldn't do as a child, like for
Okay,
example,
like
like
what?
you shouldn't you shouldn't talk back,
Yeah. No, I mean, I think that's everybody.
Yeah, that's everywhere,
Yeah.
But like
you
like
shouldn't talk back to
it's
your
like
parents.
you shouldn't like raise your opinion,
Oh yeah, like
You just-
opinions
you
are
just-
pretty much like you don't have those if you're a kid.
Yeah, you
play
and
with
I'm
your
not, but
opinion?
I was not a kid anymore. I was like 18, like I was grown. They always tell me that 18 I'm out of the house, and I was, I was living independently already. I was making money. Actually, I was like taking care of my brother. I was, I was 19, 20. I was 20, and like, I was like successful, have my own
success, that's
business
independent,
in the
you're
middle
on
of a
your own.
pandemic, by the way, like
Yeah.
it was successful on my own term,
But no, according to your father,
of
successful,
course,
right?
So he has this expectation for me that I couldn't meet, that brought a lot of pain for him, because he's old fashioned. Like that's the only way he knows how things are. You know what I mean? Like he only knows success as this like 9 to 5 job, stability, get a kids, get a house, and that's success for him. And that's good for him. I don't want to take that away from him, that he is successful in his own term,
Yeah.
But because I was really selfish, because I think at that point, I got money, I got like I got a name for myself, only a little bit of money, only a little bit of name. I was taking care of my own brother, like I got my own success. So I feel like, I got cocky.
You're
know
a
what I mean?
cocky kid.
I got cocky, I was, I got selfish and cocky, and I think that he should understand me,
So it goes both ways around, right?
Yeah, like I
Like,
wanted
no.
him to understand
Yeah,
me now.
Now he needs to understand your success, right?
Yeah.
How
You
did
know?
that turn out?
So like not like then I didn't understand his success, and he didn't understand my success, right? And we both wanted each other to understand, like to do the same thing as like we're doing. You know what I mean?
So were you right?
So it's like the recipe for disaster.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Recipe for disaster. When both sides think they're right and they're both too stubborn
and aggressive.
Yeah. Oh, aggressive.
Yeah, we're both really aggressive,
Alright.
So anyway, so that time, right, I came home, he was giving me like silent treatment and just like overall unhappy with me, So I'm like, confront him, In Vietnam, you don't do shit like that. You don't confront anybody, okay? Just
Just don't talk. Just ignore each other.
Yeah, just ignore each other. But I don't like that. I want to clear the air. I want to talk and communicate and get this sorted, right?
Yeah.
But like I wasn't ready to listen. I just wanted to be like.
You want to be listened, and you want to be him to understand your point.
Yeah, and you know what? Because like before that, when I drop out, I also called him and I said like, hey, this is what I'm doing, right? And he was so rude to me. He was saying things like, like he thinks that like I will fail, and when I fail, he wouldn't be there for me. And that's not something you want to hear.
Yeah, especially from your parents.
Especially from your parents that like they say that you will fail. That's something that is like very rude for me. But like it was the expectation that drove him to say these things. And then like when I came home that time, I still remember these words. I don't think about it as like it's just like a blur of the moment. It was just at the heat of the moment that he like splur it out by accident, and he doesn't mean it, But I got really, really attached to something like that.
So the words that he said to you.
Yeah, so I was angry, and he was angry, So literally we like had like a huge fight, right? We're like talking back and forth. He wanted me to listen because he's like old fashioned. He just wants his kids to sit there and like take it and listen, And I wasn't gonna do that. I wanted to be heard. Oh, wait, no. Yeah, I wanted to be heard.
You wanted to be heard.
Yeah.
He wanted to be heard.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you're both just talking.
Yeah, so we like literally shout like back and forth.
Not even talking, just shouting.
Yeah, we're just shouting back and forth, right? Until to a point that we literally fought. Yeah.
Fought.
Yeah, like fought, like
fought,
pew
fought.
pew pew.
Like not with just words.
Like with a fist.
Like MMA type of.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn, that's rough.
Yeah, that's rough, right?
Who won?
I win.
Oh, she win. You win.
So of course, like nobody won. We both lost, right? Because we end up like both like super angry and annoyed with each other and like like hating each other. Because I feel like I feel like he didn't understand me and he felt like I didn't understand him, and we both expected each other to listen and understand and do and agree with each other's point of view.
Yeah.
But it wasn't gonna happen.
It wasn't gonna happen. How could it happen, right? Yeah. So okay. So what changed? Like, are you in good terms with him now, or what?
Yeah. Like right now, like we're in quite good terms.
Okay.
And it's all because like I have a realization.
Okay. What was this realization?
Okay. So the realization is, of course, firstly, it's like expectation is not good, right?
I mean, I think everybody knows that.
Everybody knows that.
Yeah, of course.
I had, of course, that, but like to really like have it like soaked in my like heart and my soul that it's not good. I thought about that fight we had, right? And it was like, it was brutal. Like we were like animals, like fighting each other. We weren't like family anymore. At that point.
Just animals.
And I realized that this is not love. Family, like, we talk about like we need to love our family, and all of these things. And I realized this is not love. This is like petty love, Like, like he says that he want, like we both want each other to be better, because I see him at work and, it's so limiting, like the government system in Vietnam. It's not like the most like creative and, mind-blowing and liberating, like place to work at.
It's old style.
It's old style, and I feel like my dad is better than that, and I just wanted him to realize that he can change and he can find like happiness elsewhere, right? And he wanted me to see his point that like, hey, like if you do like crazy shit like that, like at some point maybe you'll be broke and sad and things like that. Like we both just wanted the best for each other, you see? But the thing is, like, the way, like, like, it's, even if it's our intention,
Yeah.
the means doesn't justify the cause.
Yeah, so you're basically saying that your expectation came out of a place of love.
Yeah.
But then it transforms and
into
changes
like
into
petty.
something petty.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, I think that's, like, I usually call it, like, petty love, Because I always say, like, petty love is something that, like, when your action or when your words or your thoughts, bring like pain for other people and yourself, okay? not just other people, but yourself too, you know, because, you know, like, because, you know, I said these things to him and we fought and all of this, you know, like, I was in pain too.
Yeah.
No?
Do you think he was in pain too?
What do you mean he said he's in pain too?
Like, is he also in pain when he says those things? When he said to you, like, oh, you're not going to succeed and you're gonna fail and like all these things.
Yeah, of course.
He's also like hurt, right? Like,
Yeah,
he's also in a
he's
place
so
of
scared,
hurt,
you know,
and
he's
he
so
wants
scared.
you to also feel hurt,
Yeah.
and that's why he like tells you all these things.
He's hurt because I don't meet his expectation, you know, and he want me to feel that, you know. He want me to feel his disappointment.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's why he says those things. So because, you know, if I feel like, you know, like the things I want to convey most to our listener is that, like, you know, before you do something or before you say something, is this thought, is this word, is this action gonna bring suffering to others and myself? If it does, you know, that's petty love.
Petty love right there.
Yeah. But, you know, like, okay, let me tell you the story first.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so, you know, let me tell you how my dad and I, like, resolve our issues. Okay,
Like,
nice.
all right. But
Right.
I was asking how you resolved it some time ago.
Yeah, it's
so
crazy.
Tell us,
It's crazy.
Tell us, okay, tell
We
us.
fought, yo.
All right, you fought. You guys are in a place of totally bad vibes. You guys are super angry at each other, but you guys somehow
We resolved
resolved it.
Okay, so here's the thing. I realized that, you know, the pain he was feeling was like, you know, like traditional parents, right? He's like super traditional. And he want, you know, his kids to take care of him when he grow old. You know, that's like super like Asian mentality. You know?
Right. Makes
You know,
sense.
like, you know, like you, like the sole point, like the sole reason of giving birth is so that they take care of you when you're old. Like, that's like Asian culture, okay? Like, yeah.
Investment 101.
Yeah, that's just so you guys know. Investment on 101.
That's how's it called? That's passive income right there.
That's passive income right there, you know. You know, but that's the thing, you know, that's the culture of it, right? But, you know, I didn't realize that. And I was just thinking, like, you know, like in our generation, we don't think like that. We don't think about giving birth, like hoping that they would take care of us when we grow old.
We don't really think that's our retirement plan.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Our retirement plan is like, you know,
Our kids,
our kids, you know, we don't think like that, right? We think like, oh.
But my
401k.
dad, like, he thought like that.
Yeah,
you know?
it's a pretty old school mentality, right? Yeah.
So he was worried that if I don't go into like the government or like get a
you're
regular,
not gonna have stability.
Yeah, like
you're
get
not
a
gonna
regular
have money.
have,
You're gonna
like-
be broke.
yeah, like if I didn't get a regular job and I didn't have like a 9 to 5 job or go into the government, then I wouldn't have like the spare. Like,
Yeah,
and if I
take
don't do
care
it,
of him.
if I don't do it right now when he's older, I definitely don't have spare for him. Basically,
Yeah. So he's scared of like his life.
Yeah.
Maybe later on in life. He's
exactly.
Like,
He's
"How are you
scared
gonna
of his
take care of
investment. He's
me?"
scared of losing his investment.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And he's scared of that. Like, I'll be so free. I'll move away. Like he wanted me to come and live like by him, like with him, or like just like down the block or something like that. But I didn't want to live like down the block for my family. Like anyway. So it's a realization that he's hurting, right?
He's hurting. He feels threatening, and he's just hurt. So how did you resolve it then? So you realized that he was hurting. So how did that help you, like, resolve and transform
in my action,
into your actions?
Yeah. So so the thing I did was that the next time I went home, right? We didn't talk. Actually, we didn't talk the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
But before I went home, I texted him, hey, like, I'm coming home on this day, like, I'll see you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I went home, and then, like, it was fine at first. But then, like, I think the day after, or like something like that, he called me and my brother to sit in the living room, and we just had a conversation. No, actually, no, it wasn't a conversation. He just talked, actually.
It's more like a lecture.
Yeah. So he just talked, right? He talked for like 2 hours, He was just saying like all the bad things about me, all the bad things about my mom for letting me drop out, all the bad things about like dropping out, all the good things about him, and all the good things he's done. Just like really, actually, like, if like if I didn't have the mentality I had, I would get really annoyed, you know, because, you know, he'd say all these things I felt like was untrue. And he was saying things like, you know, he doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke, he doesn't go out with his friends and like be like all bad and like cheating or anything like that. Like that's all the things he did for his family. But I'm like, I also don't drink. I also don't smoke. You know, I also don't like go like motorbike riding every night like with my friends or whatever, right? Like, is that not enough for you? You know?
Yeah.
So, you know, it's like this expectation that he did all of these things already, and he expect us to like
do the same things.
yeah,
you know?
to do
like,
the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, but that's the thing, you know, like if I didn't have the mentality I had, which is like realizing that he is also hurt, you know, realizing that if I talk back, I wouldn't live up to my values. You know, I wanted to love big and be a good person. You know, I wanted to be like a better person and like a bigger person, you know, even though I was a kid, but I
Yeah.
wanted to be a bigger person.
Yeah, so this time that you went there, his opinion was the same. He was still trying for you to understand him. But what had changed now was that you
I just listen.
realized that, and you just listened. You just felt like, okay, you know, I feel his pain. He's just hurting. And if I just keep trying to enforce my opinion, my expectation for him to understand me and all of that, then we're just gonna keep on fighting. And that's
Exactly.
not something that you want to like keep having in your life. You don't want to like, you know,
Yeah.
physically fight with
And
someone else.
and again, it's about like living to me. I wanted to like wake up and look at myself and think, you know, I say that I am a bigger person. I say that I'm generous. I say that I'm a kind and generous and have a person with love. And I cannot like love my own father, you know? That is something that is a hypocritical for me, you know? So, you know, like the important thing for me was, you know, living up to the value that I set out for myself, you know? So, you know, when I was faced with this, like, really, like, annoying, like, situation, right? Like, just getting lectured for,
You're
like...
just like boiling with anger, but like you remember, like, I need to live up to my
Yeah.
value.
Yeah.
You know, it's okay.
You know, I need to live up to myself, you know? And, you know, like, so I just, like, just shut up, basically. Shutting up right then wasn't that I was cowardice, you know? I wasn't a coward for shutting up. But it was because I was a bigger person. I was more generous. I was, you know, like, I was more than my father. That's why I shut up, you know?
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah, because you want to be the bigger, better person, right?
Yeah, and not only about, it's not only about a bigger and better person. It was like, you know, like I felt it was more gallant, you know?
God, yeah.
You know, it was more gallant. And it was more like brave
It
to
is,
to be quiet, you know?
Yeah, no, and like you said, right? Sometimes we feel like, oh, we need to be, you know, we need to stand up and like fight
stand
and like
up for
shout for like
ourselves.
for what we think is right? And sometimes no, sometimes you just have to shut up, you know.
And but you know what though? Let me tell you, right?
Tell me.
Because I shut up, right? So he, you know, he felt like, you know, I was understanding him, you know? And, you know, in the I just listened for 2 hours and then I just said in the end, like, you know, I'll consider what you said. You know, I just said that. Oh, thank you for, like, telling us. I'll consider what you said, right? You know, he felt like, listen, and all the anger he had and all the worries he had and all of that, he got to, like, spill it out, you know? He got it out of his head, you know, out of his mind. So everything transformed after that, you know, everything changed. We became like, obviously we're not like best friends because we still like don't agree with each other's lifestyle, right? But it was this mutual like respect, you know, like because I didn't fought him like a little kid, you know, I didn't like stand up for myself, you know, like I'm doing it in quotation mark, like stand up for myself, you know.
You didn't like keep on fighting. You didn't have to keep on trying for each other to understand your own point of view while not listening to the other person.
Yeah, exactly. Because I realized that, you know, I am happy. You know, I'm happy with my life. I had nothing to prove. I don't need to stand up for myself.
Yeah,
you
you
know?
don't need him to
validate
conform to what you think that like he should understand you and like all of this, you know?
Exactly.
You feel like, okay, if he doesn't understand me, that's fine. You know? you define your own happiness.
Yeah.
Right. And his happiness is, government
Yeah.
job and all of these
Exactly.
things, right? And he wasn't gonna change his ways. So why live in a constant state of fighting because of
Exactly.
it, right?
Yeah.
Just accept the
no
reality
need.
of it.
Yeah,
you
just
know?
accept the reality that, like, it is the way it is, and it's something I cannot control. His mind. I cannot control his mind.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if I can, I would have, but I couldn't, like, we literally, like, fought physically and nothing changed,
Yeah.
So, when I just, like, I feel like, there's this respect he has for me that, like, I had nothing to prove.
Mm-hmm.
Because of that, I think that we had this mutual, like, respect of, like, you know what, you do your thing,
Yeah.
and I'll do my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like he still has expectation for me to, like, be like him and, like, live like that kind of life, but it doesn't affect me, and that expectation only bring him pain.
Yeah.
Like, he's the only one that is in pain because of that expectation, not me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
like, obviously, like, we all hear that expectation is bad, like, we all know that it's bad, but when we want to let go of the expectation, I think the important thing is to, like, love bigger.
Yeah. Love bigger.
Yeah, like, we need to, like, when we put ourselves in that person with, like, a more generous heart, then we can understand what it is that it come from, like, they are struggling, they are hurting, that's
Yeah.
why they are putting expectation on you.
Yeah. We need to take a moment and stop expecting others to understand us when we are not understanding them.
Yeah.
Right?
Right?
Like, we just expect
I
us
just made
to
a
be
video.
understood.
I just made a video about it. It's hypocritical.
Hypocritical, guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's how you do it. That's how you did it, no?
Yeah, that's how I did
Right?
it.
And that changed, right? Because you did this, and then your dad felt listened. He could finally stop fighting. He was like, "Oh, you listen? Oh, okay. I guess I don't have to
I
say it
respect-
anymore.
yeah,
you know?
exactly.
I guess I respect you for not trying to fight me back and just listen to my opinion. Like, okay,
Yeah.
all right. I guess you're more of an adult now. You can do things on your own
Yeah.
then.
And you know what? That's the thing, like, we always think that we have to go out there and talk and do things and fight for us. But literally, shutting up, it changed the game. Okay, let me tell you about shutting up. It's, like, so good. Okay, because everybody's always talking and always want to be heard and always want their point of view to be taken
Yeah.
seriously. Inside, if you feel like you take your point of view seriously, you understand yourself, and that's enough.
Yeah.
You got nothing to prove. And let me tell you, people are really scared of that. Or, like, people get, like, really, like worked up, like really, like, shocked with that,
With what?
with being silenced.
With being silent.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like when the other person is silent, and then we are just like shouting and talking. The other person is just like,
Yeah, they're really scared because, like, I have nothing to prove,
yeah,
I have nothing to prove because
Yeah.
I know myself. I'm happy with this current situation. There's nothing for me to prove. The other person's like, damn, boy.
you not gonna say anything. Yeah, I think they say you might lose the battle, but you win the war,
You
right?
win the war.
So the war here is our happiness. Like, we can't we don't want to be winning all the battles, right?
Yeah.
We have to pick our battles because we have to realize we want to win the war,
Yeah.
right? And winning the war is bringing happiness to ourselves, right? Being happy, being in a place where we don't have to be constantly fighting with others, okay? And so there you go. That's how you lose a battle, by just shutting up.
Yeah.
But then you end up winning the war. You end up clearing conflicts. You drop your expectations that you have of others, and they'll feel hurt.
But you know what? Let me tell you, like, you're not even actually, like, losing. you know?
Yeah.
Let's think about these two battles I had, right?
All
One
right.
was, like, physical fighting, you
Yeah.
know? Then we both lost, Like, we were both angry, we were both annoyed and everything, right?
And nobody's understood.
And
So,
nobody, like, nothing is resolved, you know?
that was the point of the battle, to like
Yeah.
get my point across and like make the other person
But nobody
understand
got
me.
their point across.
Exactly.
Which is
So-
what,
So battle lost from both
yeah,
sides.
from both sides, right? But, the next battle, where I just sat and listened, right?
Yeah.
I felt like, like he felt like winning.
Yeah,
he
felt like
he
he
felt
won.
good. You know, he felt good because he get his point across, right? And I felt like winning too because first of all, I didn't have anything to prove, so like I didn't need to get my point across anymore. But what I needed was like to prove to myself that I can be a bigger person.
Yeah, you want to prove yourself that you're not a hypocrite, that you actually
can love bigger,
right?
Yeah.
That like you're kind and you understand other people.
I can be a bigger person than I was.
Yeah, no, not so much understand. I mean more like feel for them. Yeah, so at the end of the day, you both felt like winning that battle, and you both like, and so the war is settled.
Well, I mean,
you live in peace now. Do you live in peace now?
Yeah, more or less.
More or less.
I need to text him today, actually.
You did?
No, I haven't. I have to, but I forgot.
How about we sum this up? Okay. Give me a little bit about what seems to be the problem and how you solve the problem.
Okay, so the problem was expectation, right? That like, I had expectation for my father and he had expectation for me. And we're both stubborn and we both didn't want to hear other people's expectation. Like we both didn't want to hear the other person's point of view, and we both wanted to be listened. Okay, and we didn't want to listen. We want to be heard but not listen.
It's a circle, guys. There's no way out of it.
Yeah.
So that's the problem.
And that's the problem.
So
right?
What's the solution?
So the solution I had was instead of engaging in the fight, because engaging in a fight it's just something so easy to do. I wanted to do the hard thing. I wanted to be different. I wanted to love bigger. I wanted to be a bigger person than I was. And the solution was just being silent.
Just be silent.
Super easy.
Just had to shut up and just listen what he had to say.
Yeah, but listen with like, a generous mind. That he's hurting. I feel like, we're all hurting. We're all struggling, right? So when we realize that the other person is struggling the same way as us, they are feeling as insecure as us, they're feeling as lonely as us. That's like, like that understanding will bring us to be like a higher level of being.
Yeah, it will give us the courage to
Yeah.
just stay silent.
Yeah.
And just hear them
There's
out
nothing
and
for me to prove,
Yeah, there's nothing for us to prove. Just
It's out of our control, right? We cannot control the other person's mind.
We cannot change their mind.
Exactly. There's no need to engage in the fight.
And then that's how you ended up winning the
battle.
The
war. The war.
Nice. That about sums it up. Yeah, so I think this was a pretty
Serious
big issue.
issues.
A very serious thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think, now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like we experience in also like so many ways, like so many different ways. We have so many of these battles, right?
Yeah.
Like all the time with like so many people around us, especially with the people close to us.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's like because it's like the people who are closer to us, the more we expect them to be better.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. And it starts with this like love, right? But it's just
it turns
this petty
into
love,
something
right?
bad. It turns into something very
bad.
petty.
Yeah.
Petty.
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 How about we continue this next week?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm really hungry, so can we go get something to eat?
Yeah. Let's go eat something.
Okay, you guys. Next week we want to talk about this topic again, about control and expectations, and but in a little bit a more smaller scale.
Smaller scale, like in like how it happens in your daily life.
Yeah,
okay?
like I'm
Not
sure that
just
not
when you physically fight with your parent, right? In more of a like common day that like maybe it happens to a lot of us.
Yeah, that's great.
Let's do that.
Can you feed me now?
Yeah. Stay tuned for the next episode. Follow us on social media.
At thinking.cube. That's at THI. No, go get a paper.
You get a paper, write it down.
At THINKING.CUBE.
And subscribe to us. We are on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcast, everywhere. So go find us, Thinking Cube. And then now it's time to eat. So goodbye.
Let's get
Thinking Cube.